What's up, Commander? BPG here, and today we're stepping into the shadows with Marvel Strike Force's latest Cosmic Crucible squad, built to turn fear into firepower, the New Mutants. And this team is bringing a blend of raw mutant talent, crowd control, survivability, and some explosive burst damage, and they're shaping up to become the next major force to entertain the Living Tribunal. So whether you're pushing for the higher leagues or looking for a tough, reliable defensive anchor, these five are going to deliver you value the moment they hit the field. Now in this video, I'm going to walk you through how the team works, how to build them efficiently, and which abilities and gear levels are going to give you the best bang for buck with your resources. And as always, you can find the full infographic along with the updates and discussions on the Jetson Squad Discord. Link is going to be in the description down below. So it's time to face our fears as we break down the New Mutants. And first up is Magik, one of the two reworked characters joining this lineup. And she's going to be the team's sustain engine, battlefield cleanser, and charged-based burst threat. Now her basic Soul Sword Strike is going to attack the primary and adjacent targets for 180% piercing damage and clear 2 random positive effects. The T4 is only going to add that 50% piercing to all targets, and as this is a pure damage upgrade, I think this T4 is easily skippable. Her special Demonic Might is going to heal herself and all New Mutant allies for 20% of her max health. And with those new stats, that's going to be huge. Attacking all enemies for 225% piercing and flipping immunity on the targets. Reducing the primary target's speed bar by 30%. And then she's going to apply 10 charge to herself and all chargeable uncanny X-Men allies, which doesn't really matter. And this attack cannot be counterattacked. The T4 on this adds 10% more healing, 75% more piercing damage, and most importantly is going to flip regeneration on all enemies. This is already a very strong ability, but the T4 is significantly increasing the value. Those flipped regenerations turning into bleeds while boosting that healing and damage makes this a very high value T4. Her ultimate Limbo Strike will heal the most injured New Mutant ally for 10% of her max health and clear 3 random negative effects. She's then going to barrier herself and 2 random X-Men allies for 20% of her max health. She will clear Disrupted from all X-Men allies, and then she's going to attack the primary target for 350% damage. And on top of that, she's going to heal herself for 25% of that damage with the Drain mechanic. This attack is unavoidable, cannot be blocked, and the T4 is adding a barrier to all X-Men allies and the ability to clear ability block and adding 100% more damage to this attack. This is a very strong utility ability, and the T4 is elevating it even further with that team-wide barrier and ability block removal, so this is a high-value T4. Her passive Dark Child is going to barrier all X-Men allies on spawn for 30% of her max health, and she's going to gain charged whenever her allies are attacked. At 20 charge, she's going to unleash a devastating attack doing 400% damage to her opponent, and she's going to heal on crit. Now, the reactive healing and survival triggers that are involved in this, and there is a team-wide drain bonus. The T4 is going to add 100% more of that out of turn damage and clear heal block on crit, which is big. But since this additional effect is conditional and tied to the crits and not crucial to that team function, I'm putting this down as a nice to have T4. Now the ISO 8 class we're choosing for Magik is Raider. She's got a lot of multi-target attacks and so is going to have lots of opportunities to get those crits. And this is only going to be enhanced by that Raider ISO 8. Now let's move on to our second rework, Sunspot. And while he does contribute to the team, he is probably going to be the most replaceable member on the team and the character I feel we are going to see mostly on the bench. His basic Hot Shots is going to attack the primary and adjacent targets for 240% damage and apply bleed. He's also going to gain that charged mechanic, and he will apply extra bleeds when he crits. The T4 is adding only 60% extra damage, so as this is a damage boost, it can be skipped. His special Heat Stroke is available on turn 1 and is going to apply ability block to the primary target. Then he's going to attack the primary and adjacents for 330% damage, applying slow and heal block, and he will prolong negative effects by 1, or if he's in raids 2, but that doesn't count with this team. He will generate ability energy for all X-Men allies, and the benefit of this attack is it cannot be avoided, blocked, or counterattacked. Now the T4 on this one is going to add 90% more damage and will increase those negative effects by 2, which is useful but not essential, so I've put this down as a nice to have T4. Ultimate Solar Burst is going to gain charged for each charged enemy. It is a big AoE attack for 470%, which will apply offense down and defense down, which is pretty big. Now in raids and Crucible, it will also apply Disrupted and is going to generate 1 ability energy for all X-Men allies. The T4 on this is going to add more damage and more ability energy, but only in raids. And since the value of this T4 is mostly in raids, this is easily skippable for this team. Finally, his passive Solar Champion. On spawn, he is going to give offense up to all X-Men allies. He's going to heal himself for every charge he has on him. It's going to give him a damage increase. And there is the anti-taunt mechanics available in raids and Cosmic Crucible. The T4 on this is going to add ability energy generation per charge and will also apply offense down in raids. But again, with this being a raid-centric T4, this T4 is completely and utterly skippable. Now, the ISO 8 class for Sunspot is the same as he was when you did him for the Extreme X-Men. It is Striker, because his kit is going to benefit massively from it. The additional damage that goes into the bleeds he's putting out, as well as when he's attacking into vulnerable characters, adding more bleeds to the target, is going to help the next character we are going to cover on the team, who is Wolfsbane. And she is an absolute monster in this team and is going to be your primary damage dealer and is going to feed off that bleed engine. Her basic Uncaged is going to attack the primary target for 180% piercing with a 50% chance to flip regeneration and prolong all negative effects by 1. She's also going to get bonus crit chance against characters who have bleed. The T4 on this is going to increase the damage, but it also makes that regeneration flip guaranteed. And since flipping regenerations will go into bleed, this is going to be extremely valuable and a high value T4. Her special, the Beast Within, is going to apply 2 counters to the team. That is huge. AoE attack for 200% piercing, applying 2 bleeds and heal block for 2 turns. Now, if the target has stealth, she's going to apply 2 extra bleeds and clear stealth. And then she's going to bonus attack the enemy support with the highest damage and prolong all their debuffs. The T4 on this is going to add 50% more piercing damage, but the key thing here is reducing all those enemy positive effects in Cosmic Crucible by 2. This is essential in Cosmic Crucible because it is a turn 1 ability. Her ultimate, Rise of the Lycan, is going to attack the primary target for massive piercing damage, whilst applying Disrupted and Heal Block and reducing the speed bar by 30%. She's then going to bonus attack the most injured enemy, and on kill she's going to generate 3 special ability energy for herself. And there is no reviving this. The T4 is adding offense up and speed up, and adding speed up alone is going to make this T4 absolutely essential. Her passive, Teen Wolf, is going to apply speed up to the team whenever an enemy gains stealth. And in Crucible, as long as she has 3 new mutant allies, she will gain speed bar whenever an enemy gains bleed. There will be no enemy assists, and she's going to provide immunity to any type of speed bar manipulation from the enemy. And if that wasn't enough, She also dishes out extra crit chance against enemies with blind or silence. Now the T4 on this is going to add bleeds, stacking on crits for all new mutants. This is going to cause fights to snowball in your favour and is absolutely essential. For Wolfsbane, we are going to put her ISO 8 as Striker. She is a bleed-centric damage output character, and so that is going to thrive under the Striker ISO 8. Cannonball is your frontline protector. He is fast, disruptive, and stacked with deflex is going to keep himself and his team alive. Now his basic Blazing Barrage is going to attack the primary and adjacent targets for 250% damage while applying offense down and slow. It will also allow him to gain those valuable deflex. The T4 adds additional damage and will add an additional turn of slow. But since the key effects are already present in this ability, I think this one is a nice to have T4. His special Broadside is what you are going to open with, and it is going to clear barrier on all enemies. It's going to do AoE damage for 300% and clear positive effects while applying offense down. In Crucible, with 3 new mutant allies, he's going to apply trauma and blind to all, ability block to mythic protectors, and stun to non-mythic protectors. He's going to gain 3 deflex, and this attack is unavoidable. Now the T4 for this ability is going to add more damage, and it's going to grant immunity to all new mutants. And that immunity makes this an essential T4, as it is also defining the team's opening tempo. His ultimate Blast Field is going to do amazing AoE damage and clearing 2 positive effects. And for each deflect, he's going to gain scaling damage while also applying offense down and slow to the primary and adjacent characters. He's also going to gain deflect himself, and enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived. The T4 is going to add stun to the primary target and 100% more damage, and this to me is another essential T4, incredible for that early control. And his passive Human Artillery on spawn is going to gain deflect and taunt. He's going to generate deflex on every crit and apply deflect and safeguard to allies when they dip below half health. His Crucible bonuses for this include a persistent taunt and denying enemy barrier generation. And for each deflect on this character, he is going to gain additional crit chance and armor, which is huge when you are the tank of the team. Now the T4 is going to prevent enemy supports and protectors from spawning with immunity, and is going to add damage reduction and resistance for all new mutants who are missing defense up. This T4 is absolutely essential, boosting his tanking ability and the team's durability overall significantly. Now the ISO 8 class for this character surprisingly is going to be Raider. I feel this is his best role because he is going to be the one opening the fight, so he is going to be who we are looking to for those all-important vulnerables, and he's going to benefit greatly from that crit-based deflect generation. And finally, we have Warlock, and Warlock is bringing our battlefield control. He brings effect flips, he brings protection, stealth cycling, and some of the strongest support utility we have seen in a Cosmic Crucible character recently. His basic arm configuration attack is going to attack the primary target for 250% damage and flip 3 positive effects, while also applying stealth to any low health new mutants. As the T4 is only adding that additional damage, I feel this is a completely skippable T4. His special Bombcopter is going to flip all negative effects on self into positive effects, and it is going to AoE for 310% damage and apply 2 turns of silence. It will also clear all battlefield effects on the allied side, and with this attack there is no revives and it is completely unavoidable. The T4 for this is going to add more damage and allow him to absorb the negative effects from all new mutant allies unless he has trauma. And because this lets him cleanse the entire team, This is a very high value T4. His ultimate, Nanite Tank, is going to reduce the negative effects on his team by 2. It's going to do massive AoE damage while applying silence and trauma. And in Crucible, it is going to gain extra piercing damage and is going to flip multiple effects into immunity while also clearing those battlefield effects. The T4 is going to do additional damage. It's going to flip vulnerable, charged, and revive once into ability block for all enemies. And in my mind, this is an essential T4, one of the strongest utility upgrades for this team. His passive Technarch team is going to stop enemies from gaining offense up until he takes a turn. It's going to flip negative effects on allies into defense up and deflect. And in Crucible, he's going to steal speed up, defense up, and offense up from enemies at spawn and spread them to his new mutant allies. He's also going to prevent enemy speed bar manipulation, except through the slow condition. Now, the T4 on this is going to prevent new mutants from gaining stun, defense down, or exposed before his first turn. And this passive is going to tie the entire team together, and so is an absolutely essential T4. Now, the ISO 8 class I've chosen for Warlock is Raider, and this plays perfectly into his crit-based flips and his team-wide utility. The New Mutants are a fast, aggressive, and control-heavy Cosmic Crucible team built around bleed stacking, effect flipping, battlefield cleansing, and disruptive openings. Cannonball is going to set the pace, Wolfsbane is going to drive your kills, and Warlock is going to stabilize and cleanse, with Magik's sustain and support. And Sunspot, while he does have an okay kit, especially with that negative effect extension, I do feel he's going to be spending a lot of time on the bench with some of the stronger plug and play characters falling into his role. But when built correctly, this team is going to overwhelm your opponents with bleeds, trauma, silence, and all that constant pressure. And this is going to make them one of the most oppressive Cosmic Crucible squads in the Age of Annihilus so far. And don't forget, if you found this guide helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and drop a comment below letting me know which new mutant you're excited to be building first. The full infographic is going to be available right now on the Jetson Squad Discord. Link will be in the description. And if you want to know how to build more teams for Cosmic Crucible, then why not check out these videos right here.